I'm sure a lot of you are already aware, but it has been announced that Crunchyroll has completely removed the comment section on the platform, including from episodes and articles. This is a very radical decision, one that really removes one of the most separating features they have compared to all other streaming services that have anime. And isn't it
It's funny to me because, like, I have Crunchyroll. I didn't even know they had comments. Because I just have the app on my PlayStation 4 over there. And I just watch anime on it. I've never read a comment. I didn't even know you could make comments.
Funny how every time all these companies make decisions that are apparently to make the site more user-friendly, they spend all of their time removing things that are actually liked by the users. But before we get into my personal reaction, also kind of the group reaction to this on social media, let's read the reasoning from Crunchyroll themselves for this decision. So titled, Protecting Our Community. Why is Crunchyroll disabling comments? At Crunchyroll, we prioritize creating a safe and respectful community environment. To maintain this standard, we are hiding all existing user-generated content, including comments and reviews across all of our platforms and experiences. We're striving.
See, like, to me, I think the problem really is removing the reviews. Because, like, I could easily see where the comments could be, like, super inappropriate or, like, really bad or spam or something like that, right? But, like, removing the reviews, that's crazy.
We're always striving to enhance the user experience for our fans, including how they connect over the content they love. We encourage fans to share comments and connect with other fans on our social media channels. The user rating system will, however, remain, allowing you to express your opinions through star ratings.
Of course.
Yeah, guys, it's for your safety, numbnuts. Don't you get it? We're actually the good guys. We're looking out for you.
Anytime that a website does something for user safety, I usually assume that it will be bad. Like, anytime I hear we're doing this to keep the website safe, it's never followed by anything that's in my best interest.
Be trusted to deal with people making comments that you might not like. You're too weak to deal with that, so we're going to save you. Yeah, it's a big load of malarkey. I think this has to do a lot with cutting corners and cutting costs, as always. But on top of that, avoiding...
That's actually a really good point that he brings up, is that they probably have to have content moderators for the comments, and they're paying these content moderators for the comments money. And it's like, if you didn't have the comments, you wouldn't need the content moderators. So, like, what value are the comments really providing? Like, why would you give a fuck? No, actually, it makes sense. If you look at it from that perspective, it does.
Criticism. So, let's start with this decision itself. It is a terrible one. I think 99% of people do not like this decision because this feature, the comment section, especially on episodes, is what separates this platform from any others that stream anime. It is something unique that most don't have. This was something that people could actually utilize. This was something that I did. I haven't had a Crunchyroll subscription in many years, but back when I did, that was one of my favorite things. After an episode, go to the comment section, see what people had to say about the episode. And yes, sometimes you're going to run into trolls. You're going to run into spoilers. But guess what? That's the internet, okay? It's going to happen no matter where you're looking for any sort of feedback on an episode you just watched. And on top of that, if you have an issue, right? If you have an issue with people spamming things, doing misleading things in the comment sections of these episodes, you know what you do? More moderation. It's that simple.
Well, that's why they don't do it. That's he's explaining the reason why they got rid of it. Because more moderation. Now, what does moderation mean? Money. Moderation means you have to pay somebody to do it. Now, you have to fuck around and deal with paying all of these people, dealing with these people, paying people to deal with the people. Meanwhile, they can just delete the fucking comments and say, fuck that. It's not a problem. I think the real problem here is that getting rid of the reviews. That's crazy.
More moderators, but of course, that costs money, and we know that's one of the reasons, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But this decision itself to remove comments is also clearly an act of censorship. Let's be honest here, okay? We know that a lot of this...
Somebody says, what if YouTube decided to remove comments? Any user can close comments to any video. So actually, a user can decide to do that whenever they want.
Is to censor negative reviews on episodes, negative reviews on articles, things like that. Because I believe in Crunchyroll's mind, They think if people are leaving negative comments about an episode, people might look at the comments first and say, a lot of people don't like this, or a lot of people don't like this series, or this article must be pretty bad. So they either leave negative comments themselves, or they just avoid it completely. And I guess
I think that's true, and I actually don't like that. I don't think you should change it based off of this, but I think it's very true, and it's a problem that, like, people look at the consensus of something, and then they're like, that kind of shades the way that they see it. So, like, instead of looking at it objectively, like, from their own mind, they look at it in the context of knowing that everybody else doesn't like it, and that causes everybody to, like, think about it differently.
Their reasoning behind this decision, and really, with Crunchyroll and censorship, is it really that surprising that they would do something like that? No, it's really not. And the second reason I think they're doing this is to cut corners. Like I mentioned,
that's the real reason,
they
I
need
think.
more moderation if there's an issue with these comment sections going awry. And of course, to have more moderation, what do you got to do? You got to pay more moderators. And time again, Crunchyroll has proven that they don't want to go the extra mile when it comes to paying for things like that. And on top of all this situation, of course, it's Crunchyroll. Why would they do anything that's beyond what they have to do? They have been squeezing money out of their customers for years.
That's what every company does. Like, that's just, I think every streaming company, I don't know about Crunchyroll, but, like, I've never heard of a streaming company being profitable. I think that the companies that are trying to get into streaming are trying to get into it because they think that it will be profitable in the future. And what's happening now is that people are realizing, like, there's a market cap on streaming. There's only so many people that are going to want to buy streaming services. There's only so many streaming services that can exist in the public space. And so now you're seeing these companies cut corners like crazy. Instead of just giving out free trials and saying no ads, now they're trying to, like, double down on monetization because that endless growth is plateauing out. And so I think that's the real reason. Because none of these companies are making any money, and they're starting to realize that investment is drying up. Because, like, you're investing in something, the biggest things that people like investing into are things that have an unknown return. Because as soon as you know how much money you make, it's instantly less exciting.
Years, this is just a joke. And I think for them, it's obvious it's not just censorship, it's also the cost of doing this. And on top of this, there's been a lot of negativity recently, and I don't think Crunchyroll wants to deal with this. So there's two examples that come to mind about recent shows that are causing issues in the comment section. So number one, Senpai wa Otaku Naku. So for those who don't know, it is an anime about a cross-dressing male. A male identity.
Right. Yeah, I bet the comment section for that is going to be very reasonable.
Identifying character who cross-dresses. A male identifying character. But for some goddamn reason, Twitter has convinced themselves that this character is trans for their own political agenda. And it's very, very weird. And there are battlegrounds in the comments of those episodes. And it's really, really messy. And maybe they don't want to...
It's because a lot of the people don't understand any of the actual gender nuances or any of the actual, like... They view everything through the same lens that the people that they criticize view it through. Because, like, there's plenty of guys that like dressing up as girls. That doesn't make them transsexual. It doesn't make them girls either. It just makes them guys that like dressing up as girls. Like, being a femboy and being trans are two very different things. There's a huge spectrum to this.
Moderate it. Maybe they just don't want to deal with it at all. And that's maybe something to look at, but that whole situation is way too big for this video, and that's something we might look into in a future video.
Guys, I've been on the internet 25 years. I know all about this. No. I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression. I know the whole spectrum. I get it.
Video. And on top of that, they recently got busted showing AI translated subtitles in the episodes of My Dear Friend Nokutan.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now, that whole situation is something I covered a few days ago. It was a pre-scheduled video I'd actually recorded almost a week ago, and I'm glad I kind of waited because that's when things kind of blew up with that anime and the AI translations on Crunchyroll. So, to clarify, it was not Crunchyroll who made the actual subtitles for that episode. It was a third party. However, Crunchyroll just accepted them, right? It was machine and AI translated subtitles for their episodes of this very popular anime, and they did not proofread it. Like, clearly,
That's
they
the
did
problem. They didn't proofread it. That's what they need to do next time.
not proofread it. And that situation is funny for two reasons. Number one, the localizers are really upset, crying about AI translation.
What's the difference between a femboy and a transsexual? Sure. Education time. So a femboy is somebody who identifies as a boy. A transsexual is somebody, if you're assuming it's a boy, identifying as a woman. So if you ask a femboy, are you a guy or a girl? They're going to say, I'm a guy. If you ask a trans person, are they a guy or a girl? They're going to say they're a girl. You understand? And also, femboys are not taking hormones. They're not undergoing surgery. Now, some femboys do some form of surgery in order to make them look more feminine, but not in the same way that transsexual people do. These are two very different things. So, and there's also drag queens, which are like closer to femboys than trans, but even that's a little bit different. Like femboys and drag queens are different too. They're very different. Yes, exactly. And so you guys see what I'm saying, right? Twinks. So twinks are just simply guys that look very young and fit that are gay. That's it. It's like a bear is like a big hairy gay guy. A twink is a little skinny gay guy. It's very simple. Do we have any other questions? You guys not understand this? Is Mikkel a trans or a femboy? He's a femboy. Yes. Bro, everything? Absolutely. How do you know this? Because I'm a professional degenerate. You can think of any conspiracy theory, any fetish, any type of weird paranoia, anything stupid, any known person on the internet who is acknowledged as crazy or insane. And not only do I know about it, but I probably know more than you do about it. I've been on the internet for a really, really long time. Can you explain pansexual? That's somebody who's attracted to all genders. I think the reason why people shifted to pansexual rather than bisexual is because bisexual implies a gender binary and pansexual doesn't. So, yes. Also, with being bisexual, the implication sometimes is that it's 80-20, where you're like 80% attracted to women, but 20% to men, whereas pansexual implies a equal distribution. Anything else? Is that it? Bisexual is pansexual then? In a way. Is Griffith gay? No, he's not gay. He's not gay in any capacity. You know all evil, but decide to nerf your powers? Well, that's just the way it is. What's my percentage? 100%. Anything else? Difference between pansexual and omnisexual? I think omnisexual, a lot of times people use that term whenever they're referring to people that have humanoid features, but also animal features. I think it's like just like also cat girls and things like that, fox girls, like, you know, lizard guys. I think so, but I don't really hear that a whole lot, so I'm not sure about that one, to be fair. Yeah, like kind of furries, yeah, something like that. Demisexual is somebody who can only experience sexual gratification with somebody that they have intense personal feelings for. And like the sexual gratification comes from more the personal feelings rather than the physical sensation. Correct? You know so much? Yes. Explain unbirth, please. The opposite. I know what that is. I don't want to explain it. But it's exactly what you think it is. Yes. I'll do two more, and then I want to move on. Why do you have this knowledge? It's weird that people think that it's weird that I know this. Yeah, can you explain the Big Mike conspiracy? You mean that Michelle Obama is actually a man? Of course I can. I can explain that very thoroughly. With the college photos and everything going forward, absolutely. Yes. I'll do one more. Maybe two more. I don't know, it depends. We have the exact same conspiracy in France? Oh, absolutely. Asexual means somebody's not attracted to anybody. Explain HARP. That's what controls the weather. What's the name for someone that gets turned on over being eaten? Somebody gets turned on over being eaten. I think that's just that's a subset of like hybristophilia, right? Where that's like women that get attracted to the sensation of their life being in danger. I think that's like a component of that. Vor? Well, no. Like, yeah, obviously vor, but there's like a medical term for it as well. Yeah, it's getting weird. No, I'm telling. All right. Anyway, I think that I've explained enough, right? Here's the point. I wish if everybody knew as much as I did about this stuff, nobody would be upset or confused. Because everybody, you just know. Like, this isn't confusing to me at all. Can you explain the conspiracy why Sony won't put Bloodborne on PC? Okay, that's one I can't.
And people are just looking at them and saying, well, AI translations are slop, but at least it's AI translations, not your woke, ridiculous localizations that we would rather have machine translations than your garbage localizers. But on top of that, it made Crunchyroll look really bad because clearly they weren't proofreading anything. They're getting these translations for a very popular anime right now, and they're just yeeting it out. I believe the translations were machine translated for the English, German, French, and maybe one other
for sure.
set of translations.
Absolutely.
But the major countries, and they were completely botched. And they couldn't take the time to sit down, even for episode 1, to watch through the episode and make sure these translations were at least...
Yeah, it indicates a lack of giving a fuck.
Because in some cases, they were completely incomprehensible. They made absolutely no sense. So I think maybe some of these events, these recent events that have made Crunchyroll look bad, or there's some hostility going on in the platform, I don't know if those helped with this decision. Who knows? But really, overall, I think this is a terrible...
Somebody says newer Crunchyroll releases are unwatchable in English because they have random memes and woke comments. The problem with that is that I agree with you, but I also don't agree with you. And I'm not sure how to approach something like that. Like, for example, I watched Shangri-La Frontier, and it had a lot of, like, kind of gamer lingo in it that was, like, contemporary gamer lingo. But also the guy was a gamer. So it's like, the odds are he probably would have been talking like this, but when they translate it for him to talk like this, people think that it's stupid. So I don't know how to feel about that, to be honest with you. I really don't.
Terrible look for Crunchyroll. And again, why wouldn't people pirate anime at this point? It just makes those things look even more desirable to people and attractive to people. You think about what Crunchyroll brings to the table, right? You're paying a good price for Crunchyroll, and a price that continues to increase over time.
It's probably a lot.
And people have put up with a lot with Crunchyroll. Bad quality of their broadcasts. The website constantly crashing and having technical issues. People having issues.
I still can't get over how fucking embarrassing it is that people that are on the internet, that watch anime on the internet and write in comment sections, don't know the difference between a femboy and a transsexual. That is a shock to me. It's a fucking shock. Like, how do you not know that?
Losing their
That's
account.
crazy.
Price increases. Censorship across the board.
Why would I know that? Because you're watching anime on the internet.
Over and over the years. And now you remove really the best feature.
You should know that.
Why would you keep using Crunchyroll at this point? It's very silly to me, honestly. And that at this point, like,
Jesus.
pirating anime, like, to combat piracy, as they always say, the best way to do it is to provide a good service.
Yeah,
and
like
Crunchyroll
Spotify.
is not doing that. They were removing everything that platform has held dear. And now they're expecting you to not only accept that, but pay more for it. And it's ridiculous. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. As always, please share all of your thoughts about this situation in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
I think the reason why they're doing it is very simple. It's because they don't want to pay content moderators, and it's because the comment sections, like, I get why they're doing it. It's stupid, but I think, so did they get rid of episode reviews? Is that true? There's the video right there. That was a good, did they actually get rid of the reviews too? I want to know this. That to me is like, if they actually got rid of the user reviews, that to me is like 10x worse than the comments. Because like, oh, the comments are like, okay, you know, one of these shows comes out and like 9 out of the 10 comments are like sexual comments of a girl of questionable age in the show. Yeah, Crunchyroll's probably just going to want to delete the comment section. I can get that. I see that. But like removing reviews, that's crazy. That's crazy. Users can't review. That's way too much, man. 95% of the material on Crunchyroll was high school setting and weeboo shit. Yeah, I don't know what to say, man. It's not like that in the comments, though. At least I never saw anything like it. I have never read a comment on Crunchyroll on purpose. I've probably seen one. I've had Crunchyroll for years. I'm going to be real. I didn't know that they had comments, really, until I saw this video. Until I, actually, that's not true. I heard about this news like 2 days ago when it happened. But, yeah, that's it. It's great. Yeah, no, that's it. You mean written reviews? Well, no, I mean like a rating system, right? Comments were so clutch for skipping intro times for One Piece episodes? I mean, I guess so. I mean, I really don't know. If they can't do both, the comments will just start being reviews. They knew it. Yeah, exactly. But to me, I find it to be so sad that internet anime users used to be like, if you were into anime, you knew all of the difference between every type, like bronies, furries, scalies, femboy, drag queen, transgender, asexual. You knew everything about this. Like you did. This is just like common knowledge. It's the same as like, you know, how like a certain animal, it's just like a fish is like born and it knows how to swim. Like you just would know this. You would spawn in like this. And now food and art. Yeah, everybody knew what that meant. Duh. But like now it's a fucking, like, this is so sad. It's so fun. People are getting so stupid nowadays. You're expecting too much out of the general public? Listen, if you're an anime watcher on an internet and you're commenting in a comment section about an anime, you are not a normal person. Okay? Let's be fucking honest. It's just sad. It's sad to see. I feel like the world has people have forgot about so many things.